Hi, my name is Pepe, I'm 21 years old, and in today's video I will be showing you a game that I played in a tournament over the board where I played a kind of Caro-Kann system. So the last two videos were about the Caro-Kann with white, playing against it, and now I'm gonna play with it. If you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to the channel, it would mean the world to me. Let's get right into the game. So c4, c6, g3, knight f6, bishop g2, and we go d5. Now this looks very much like a Caro-Kann because we have the pawn on d5 and c6, so like this connect 3 here. So it's called the Caro-Kann defensive system, as we can see on the bottom right of the screen here. Continuing, he took, I took back, he played knight f3, I developed my knight, we just have simple development, knights before bishops. He goes d4, and now we kind of have an exchange queen's like Slav defense, where white exchanges c-pawn for my c-pawn, so very symmetrical position. Okay, I pull the bishop out, and then I want to play e6, and then because if I play e6 right now, then okay, the engine already says we can put it on, it doesn't really matter. Let's put it off actually. But then now we have the bishop behind the pawn, so this bishop is not very getting out anytime soon. So therefore I play bishop f5, getting this bishop out. And now I go e6. And now we have this beautiful pawn chain here with the bishop outside of it. This is a very natural position. Okay, it goes knight c3. We go h6. Now, the reason we go h6 now is because if he goes knight to h4, then we can drop the bishop back to h7 and keep this bishop, which is very, very strong on this diagonal. It's uncontested, so to say. So therefore we go pawn to h6 here to save this bishop. Now he goes a3, maybe trying to play b4 and then get the bishop out this way. So I played bishop b7, I don't really care. He goes b4, I castle, and he plays queen b3 here. Kind of a weird move here. I didn't really know what this move was kind of saying, like what did he want to do. Well, if he wants to go b5, I can hop the knight in now, and I'm attacking the queen, which is a nice plus here. So also this pawn is just like I have a very solid structure, so I didn't know what he was trying to do here. So I hopped the knight in. I thought, well, let's trade a pair of knights, and if he doesn't want to trade, I can maybe reroute this knight to this nice c4 square where it is an outpost here, because this we can see that this square is an outpost because no white pawn can attack it. So this is a nice square to put your knight, because it's on the 4th rank, so it's eyeing a lot of squares in your opponent's territory, right? So yeah, that was kind of the idea. He goes e3. I go rook c8 now. Now I'm actually threatening to take, queen takes c3, and then do knight takes b4, attacking the queen with my rook, so he can't take back, and also he can't take my knight because I'm defending that knight with the bishop. So a little bit of a tactic here. My opponent's side, so he took, I took back with the bishop, just keeping my pawn structure here. Taking with the pawn is maybe not the best, because again he can go knight to h4. Oh well, but by the way, this move is not possible because I can just take here, I think. So maybe this is also suitable, but maybe he has something like knight to d2 here, and now this pawn is already getting quite weak. So I thought, well, why not just take with the bishop, keep the pawn structure very nice here. We can see that the pawn structure is just very solid and symmetrical. He goes bishop to b2, and now I go queen to b6, getting the queen out, connecting the rooks, fine. He goes rook f to c1, contesting the open file, the only open file on the board, by the way. And I go knight a5 here, a neat little tactic here. You can't take because the queen is hanging, so he moves the queen back, and now I decided to hold my knight in, and now we kind of have this really nice position here where my knight is on the outpost square. So we can see that the plan of getting the knight there eventually got there. Continuing here, he goes bishop to c3 because his bishop was hanging, and you can't really defend it, right? Because rook b1, I would just take. So yeah, maybe rook a2, but that looks like a very ugly move. So he goes bishop to c3, and I go a5. This is a small inaccuracy. The engine, I think, wanted something else here. Yeah, the engine wanted to play this very slowly, maybe bring the other rook on the file, and then somehow, maybe even threaten to take on e3, and then the bishop is hanging. But I played a5. He went back. Let's pull the engine out. Now attacking attacking those two pieces, but mainly my bishop is hanging. My pawn is hanging because he can take, and then take this pawn. So I decided, well, okay, let's go in. We are gonna take here. He takes my bishop on e4, a mistake. We take this bishop. He goes here, and I just saw, well, I'm just gonna win a pawn in this variation. So I'm just gonna win a pawn here. I'm gonna win this pawn because it's the knight is protected by the bishop. I'm just up a pawn. I should be much better here. He goes bishop to f1 here, maybe trying to somehow trap my queen here. I go queen b4. He goes knight back to b1, and now I kind of make a mistake of playing knight to c4 because he had to move rook a4, attacking my queen. And there are a lot of tactics here, and this knight is very weak now because it's attacked so many times. I played queen to b2, not the best move according to the engine. And he went bishop to c4. And now I kind of made a blunder here, but it's not so clear what is going on in this position. I went for, I calculated, I thought I was going to lose my queen here. For some reason, I thought maybe he had, if I take back here with the pawn, he could maybe just, I thought I had here a tactic to maybe win more material. So I went for the move b5, which is a blunder actually. But my opponent blundered right back. The point is here is that he has to move rook a2, and now I have to sack the queen. He takes, and I take back here with, for example, I can take back with the rook. And now we have a rook for a queen, which is not that great. But we also have, I think, a pawn, yeah? So, yeah, this is just winning for black here, which is quite annoying here. But, what if I just go here? Okay, he can just drop back, and now he just won a full piece, yeah. Okay, so this is kind of the thing I missed here. Rook a2, and that would have been problematic, but he played the move rook c2, which I saw, but now I saw this in the game, and I thought, well, now I'm just gonna be sacrificing my queen. Queen takes c2. He takes back. I will take the rook, and now this is a very annoying pin, so he can't move the bishop. So he moves the queen, and now I have two rooks for the queen, and I've very much a lot of open lines. So I thought, well, this position has great prospects for me. He goes queen a2. I think here maybe the best move was to go queen a7 to harass my bishop, and, you know, get this bishop off this e7 square. But he goes to here. Now I double up. I'm threatening maybe a check here. He goes knight to d2. I go rook c2, attacking the queen. He goes queen to a5. And we go rook b2. Now we want to double on the second rank. If you can get two rooks on the second rank or on the seventh, that is a good thing, right? So it goes knight f3. We go in for the check first. And then we play rook, this rook to c2. And now we actually have a lot of pressure here. So now my opponent needs to defend against this pressure, this is the only move. And now I think maybe we can even take this pawn here and have a pawn up. We are up a pawn in that ending, I think. No, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can already, I think, maybe take here and be a pawn up in a minor piece endgame. But I thought, well, why should I do that? There is no reason to do this, because, you know, the passive pieces are much more valuable than just getting a pawn up endgame. So I thought, okay, let's go rook e2. He needs to go queen f1, even being more passive here. And here I saw that I just can play rook a3 and win a pawn here and keep the pressure on. He goes knight g1. I go rook back to a3. Now I'm also cutting off all of the queen moves here, which is very nice. We can see, you know, all of these squares are covered by my rooks, so this queen is nowhere to go. He goes queen d1, however. I go rook to a2. He goes knight h3. And I go bishop f6. And I saw here that I could just munch on this pawn, because I can just play rook d2 here and then just eat this pawn. And if I win this pawn, then this pawn is gonna fall eventually, because there are just not enough pieces to defend it. He goes queen d3. I go rook d2. Queen b5. We take. He went queen e, and I saw here that after I can take here, he could go queen e8, king, and after king h7 he can take here. But I saw a beautiful move here which is after queen takes f7, I can play the move rook takes f2. And no matter how you take, knight takes, you have queen takes, rook takes, and now I can, if you move the king, I win the queen, and if we trade off, we can see we have a pawn endgame with 2 pawns more, and this is resignable. So in this position, after rook takes f2, my opponent resigned the game. So yeah, a very nice victory. I think I played an excellent endgame after the move queen a2 here. So we showed very nice endgame technique here. So I'm very proud of this game. And yeah, this was the game. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you have recommendations for further videos, please let me know. And have a great day. Bye bye.